Hey everybody, it's your old pal Steve Moore here, owner of Run More, a fabulous brick and mortar running shop located in Westminster, Maryland. We're out here on location today at this beautiful track because I was turning some laps in the new Asics Metaspeed Sky that's coming out in 2025 July. This is the Tokyo edition of the Metaspeed Sky, and if you've been playing along, last time we came along with the Paris, and we've updated to the Tokyo. This has been a really excited and pretty hyped up shoe from Asics. There's a lot of things that we're excited about, from a new midsole and sort of tipping their hand on some stuff coming later this year. But before we get too far into this new updated shoe, do me a solid if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. It's a fun, free way to support our shop and a great way to keep updated on all things Run More. And if you stick around till the end, we'll give you a promo code on how you can save $27 on the new Asics Metaspeed Sky Tokyo. All right, let's get into some of the specs on the new model. This is a carbon plated racing shoe and it is $270. On the men's size 9, this is a 5.9 ounce shoe. Has a stack height of 40 millimeters down to 35, so this is a 5 millimeter drop shoe. The upper is a Motion Wrap 3.0, and then the big update here is the midsole. This has a 2-layer midsole, with the top being the FF Turbo Plus, and your base layer, their brand new FF Leap midsole with a carbon plate smashed in between the two of them. The outsole is the same Asics grip, rubber. On a personal level, I was very excited to bring this shoe in. I actually have a pretty good experience on this entire line. I think one of the nice things about being a shop owner here is I've gotten to try a ton of different shoes over the year, and I would say of all of the different carbon plated shoes that I've tried, I tend to gravitate a lot towards the Asics stuff. They've just kind of worked for my feet over the years. So last year I ran some miles in the Paris version, and then I've also I ran Boston Marathon 2 years ago in the original guy here. So I've had a nice progression to see how this shoe has changed. And it's honestly, ironically, as the shoe has gotten better for the masses, it's actually gotten worse for my own preference on how I like the shoe, but that's just a me thing. I think for most people, this shoe has continued to evolve in a positive direction. I think one of the things that we've seen in most of the carbon plated shoes out there, especially one that's more geared towards long distance stuff, and I think as people have gotten higher in technology, we're starting to see such definition between this is more of a 5K, 10K carbon plated shoe. This is one for more of your everyday training. We've got super comps. We have shoes that are meant for a ton of different varieties of things with a plate in it, but this to me is like your perfect package for a marathon shoe. Like, you want something that has some cushion to it, but still has some rebound to it. And I think one of the things that they probably have heard is that their original version, the OG, my favorite, was probably firmer than a lot of people want. You know, most people that are running a marathon for several hours out there, they have to be able to feel somewhat protection. And like, while I love this shoe so much, I think most people at the time loved it, but they wish there was a little bit more of like a better plusher feeling. And that's hard because you also need to make sure that you're still semi-stable in the shoe. So they've made some nice additions along the way that I think for more people they're excited about. And like the big addition on this is the new updated midsole to it. So coming back from our version from the Paris issue here, this was just your FF Turbo Plus. This was like a beautiful, nice, light, responsive midsole. And now they've added a layer of that on the top here. So we have this FF Turbo Plus on the top, and now we have this new, it's called the FF Leap on the bottom level here with your plate in between it. You're actually gonna see this same midsole later this year on the Metaspeed Ray. That's gonna be their like premium $300 high-end carbon plated shoe racing. It's coming out late this year. But for most people, I think this is where they're gonna kind of gravitate towards. There's also two different versions of this shoe if you've been following the Asics line for a while. There's the Sky version and there's the Edge line. The Sky version is for people that like have a little bit more of a longer stride, maybe they have like a little bit lower of a cadence, where the Edge is for somebody who has like a little more short, compact stride. Now, ironically, I just have a very short, choppy stride. Like I'm told people say I almost look like I'm speed running. Like I just have this little choppy guy. Like most of my runs are like, my cadence is like 180, 190. I ran 249 at Boston in this guy, and I had like a 195 cadence the whole way in it. So I have that shorter stride, but I have much more success in this shoe. It just seems to work for me as far as like the function and the fit and the feel of it. And I've been able to run miles in each iteration to it. And while again, I think for me, I still prefer the old guy, I think the additions and changes that they've made here are gonna make everybody else happier. Like, just little things. There's that extra cushion around here around the collar compared to the previous version, so I feel like it fits a little better back here. It's just a pinch wider, and while like, I think some people prefer a much more cinched down feel, there are people that are especially doing longer races, like they need a little bit more volume. Their feet's gonna expand. They just wanna have that just a little bit more feel to it, and they have that on here. And it's actually even lighter. So our previous version in the Paris, this was 6.4 ounces, and they've shaved some weight down here to 5.9 ounces. Like, it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but when you're looking at how much cushion and just overall volume they have on this shoe, to have something that's actually more cushion in my opinion, but lighter is always like a nice thing to it. You can honestly, you can feel the difference in the midsole and having the different layers here. You definitely have a much more soft feel when you land. And I think that's one of the challenges we've seen as midsoles have gotten bigger and bigger. We've seen more like cutaways inside the midsoles, is that the shoes just get squirrely. And like, if you've been following my channel, like you can kind of hear me on my carbon plated videos. Like, I don't like a lot of them. Like, I find myself just, I feel very loosey-goosey in it. Like, you've probably heard me saying times, like, I don't feel like I can turn real well in them and such, and I think that's partly because they just don't feel all that stable, but you still have cushion, but you just feel like you can control the shoe a little bit more than you can other shoes in this market. And yeah, it's $275, but that's sort of the going rate of these shoes right now. And I think because this shoe is like an Asics shoe, quite frankly, it's a shoe you'll be able to get a couple marathons out of before you have to pitch it. You know, so you're gonna see this midsole and a couple things later this year from Asics, but as far as like the new latest and greatest, the new Tokyo that's out in July of 2025, I think it's gonna make a lot of people happy. For an old codger like myself, who's somebody who still likes a firmer, lower cushion shoe, I just still personally like the OG, but I'm old, look at me, it is what it is. But I think for the majority of the people watching this, you're gonna like the updates, and you're gonna see like there is clear definition changes between the 1, between the 2, and between version 3. So I hope that helped make you some decisions between what's going on with this line. And if you wanted to pick up this fine product, if you enter promo code WATCHMOORE down below, just one word, WATCHMOORE, like my last name, 00, you'll save 10% and we'll ship it out for free. And if you find yourself in the greater Westminster, Maryland area, stop on by, pop this guy on, take him for a spin around the shop and see what you think. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much. Happy running, happy summer. I hope it's as hot and miserable where you are as it is out here in Westminster. Thank you so much. We'll see you around town. Thanks so much for watching. Click the videos on the screen to learn more about some related content.